Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the next episode in Books I'm Daunted By. So this is a short series, I guess, that I've been doing on my channel for a while now, where I pick 5 books from my physical TBR that I'm slightly too daunted to read. And do a try chapter tag kind of thing on them. I won't actually be reading these books today, but I just had the impulse to start this video series again. It's been a couple of months, maybe like 4 months since I last did one, at least since the last one went up on my channel, so I decided it was time to do another one. I've just picked the 5 books off my shelves and I had too easy of a time to do it, so I think I'm actually going to film the intro of the next one while I'm here too. But what we're going to do, I'm just going to take you through the 5 books that I've selected for this challenge, and then you will be updated with my opinion of the first chapter as soon as I read the first chapter. So the first one we have here is 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison. I've heard some really good things about Michelle Harrison, but I'm just not sure whether diving straight into this one, I don't know what I'm thinking. This is a middle grade fantasy and I don't know anything about it. I got it relatively cheap because Emily bought me the second book in the series, so I needed to get the first one to actually read it. And yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. It says, a family secret, a fateful inheritance. While visiting her grandmother's house, Tanya discovers an unsolved Let's start again. A family secret, a family secret, a fateful inheritance. While visiting her grandmother's house, Tanya discovers an unsolved mystery. 50 years ago, a girl vanished into the woods nearby, a girl Tanya's grandmother will not speak of. Fabian, the caretaker's son, is tormented by the girl's disappearance. His grandfather was the last person to see her alive and has lived under suspicion ever since. Together, Tanya and Fabian decide to find the truth, but Tanya has her own secret, the ability to see fairies. Can it help them to unravel the mystery? Soon they are facing terrible danger. Could the manor's sinister history be about to repeat itself? So it sounds relatively thrilling, especially for a middle grade. I'm just looking and the first chapter is less than 10 pages long. We've got about 11 pages in the chapter, so maybe I'll read 2, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I just need to try this book to see what I think. Next we have a very old arc. I didn't get this as an arc, I only got this towards the end of last year, and that is The Fandom by Anna Day. But obviously this is the uncorrected proof edition. So when did this actually come out? October 2017, so it is relatively old now. I have heard mixed things, but nothing like cemented. So this says, cosplay ready, Violet and her friends are at Comic-Con. They can't wait to meet the fandom of mega movie The Gallows Dance. What they're not expecting is to be catapulted by a freak accident into their favourite world, for real. Fueled by love, guilt and fear, can the friends put the plot back on track and get out? The fate of the story is in their hands. So again, I don't really know what I'm feeling about this. I thought it was cool to find an arc of it, so I bought it because it was in a charity shop. But yeah, I'm not sure on my opinion. The first chapter, again, is about 10 pages long. It shouldn't take too much, but I don't know. Next we have one I very recently bought, like November or December of last year, and that is The Boy Who Loved Anne Frank by Ellen Feldman. So this is a book about like a potential boyfriend of Anne Frank and how he reinvents himself after the war. I guess I should just read it, to be honest. It says, imagine if the boy in hiding with Anne Frank had survived the war. On the 16th of February 1944, Peter, Anne Frank's closest confidant, that's how you say that, isn't it, in the secret annex, declared to her that if he got out alive, he would reinvent himself entirely. No one would ever know who he was or where he had been. This is the story of what might have happened if the boy in hiding had survived the horror. So I do know a fair amount about Anne Frank, about World War II, about the Holocaust, about concentration camps, so I feel like I would really love this. I got it in a charity shop so cheap, just because I saw it the day after me and Cole had a conversation about Anne Frank, so it felt like I had to buy it. Just to see how long the first chapter is, we've got a 2-page prologue, so I'll read that. And then the first chapter looks to be relatively short, she says. Well, she can't find the end of it. Okay, the first chapter is about 20 pages, so I should get a feel for this in that time, especially as it's quite a short book. I want to love it. I want to love everything this is about, but don't know. I feel like I just bought it for the sake of it and now it's daunting me and I don't want it to sit on my shelves forever. Next, there's one I'm Daunted By because a lot of people love it, and that is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I also found this in a charity shop. I'm dying to pick up The Midnight Library. I have it. And everyone says amazing things about that. But before I get to that, I kind of want to read this one first. But I keep putting this off. So that means I keep putting The Midnight Library off. This is How Many Lifetimes Does It Take to Learn How to Live? Tom Hazard has a dangerous secret. He may look like an ordinary 41-year-old history teacher, but he's been alive for centuries. From Elizabethan England to jazz-age Paris, from New York to the South Seas, Tom has seen it all. As long as he keeps changing his identity, he can stay one step ahead of his past and stay alive. The only thing he must not do is fall in love. I'm going to assume he falls in love, and that's what this whole story is about. The text is quite small on the pages. I wasn't aware of that. We don't have specific chapters. We have like jumping between places and times. So maybe I'm going to try to read about 25 pages of this in total, because the first technical chapter is 3 pages long, then the one after that is 2 pages. So I'm just going to try and read a decent chunk. It sounds good. It's just not my typical cup of tea, so I'm not sure. And finally, we have In the Dark by Andreas Fluger, I want to say. This is a book that I got in a box of stories. It's a chunky thriller. I've just broken the spine immediately. Oh dear, no, I have broken that. That's just... Should I edit that out? Is that going to annoy anyone? I never break spines, but this just sort of fell open like that. Like I can't stop it happening. So this, as I think I just have said before that happened, I got from a box of stories. That means I didn't choose it. I didn't even choose a thriller at that point. It just arrived as a book given a second chance at life. So this is Jenny Aaron was once part of an elite police unit tracking Germany's most dangerous criminals. She was the best until it all went wrong. A disastrous mission saw her abandon a wounded colleague and then lose her sight forever. Now, 5 years later, she has learnt to navigate a darkened world, but she's still haunted by her betrayal. Why did she run? Then she receives a call from the unit. They need her back. A prison psychologist has been brutally murdered and the killer will only speak to one person. This was giving me Silence of the Lamb vibes, but I will only speak to one person. There is like braille, I don't know if that's going to pick up in the light, on the title, which I assume is correct for In the Dark. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. If it is, then I'm sorry. So I don't know much about this. I didn't choose it. I probably wouldn't pick this up for myself, and that might be why I'm daunted by it. How long is the first chapter? Well, I think it is about 20 pages again. Yeah, about 20 pages. It's fine. I've got time to give that a go. So as I said, I won't be jumping into these straight away. I don't know when I'm going to start filming this video, but I was sat in my lunch break and I just had to get it started. So this is what we're going to be doing sometime soon. Hello, so it's only a day or two after I filmed the original intro for this video and I've got some free time. There are also some reading sprints going on Leanne from Literary Diversions' channel. So I've decided to alternate my current book, The Shadowhunter's Codex, which reads like a textbook and I'm on the first page, alternate that with my Try a Chapter Tag books, see how much I can get read. We've still got about half an hour before that starts, so what I actually did was read the first chapter of 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison. The first chapter I did really enjoy. It is about a girl who is seeing, I want to just say they're fairies, and things are happening, so she's just like broken a light fixture in a room and like destroyed the ceiling, and obviously nobody, like her mom doesn't believe that anything's happened. We also had the prologue, which I think was just told a little bit in the future to that. I may be mistaken. Yeah, I may be mistaken, but I think it's slightly in the future to chapter 1, where she meets a 15 or so year old girl with like some sort of fairy baby. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not far in. I'm on page 19, but I do think this is going to be a relatively quick read. It is 326 pages, and I feel like if a prompt was to come up for Bookoplathon, which is happening this weekend. I don't know when you'll see this video, obviously, but if a prompt was to come up then where this book really fits, then I might try and work it in. So I guess I'm going to go for the next book on my list now. I don't want to make this whole video me sat in the same spot, so maybe I'm going to dip in between the 2 different episodes I'm doing of this, because I don't want it all to look the same. But yeah, let's pick the next one. Okay, so it's now a little bit later. We're not doing times. I realise this isn't a normal vlog. I just read a little chunk of the fandom. I read up to chapter 3, so that is how many pages? 20 pages. And I'm actually really enjoying this. The first few sentences were amazing. Exactly 1 week today I will hang. I was like, is she on about hanging? Yeah, she's on about hanging. She's going to be hung in the prologue. So this is, so far, I knew it was going into like a fandom, what's called the fandom, but like going into a fictional world. But what we've had so far is a bit of an explanation about the fictional world. I don't really like how we got that. So it was the main character giving a presentation in an English lesson about the fictional world. It felt very forced and a way to put it in that just was completely unnatural. But they're on about, it's called, what I've already forgotten, the Gallows Dance, which is a world where humans are genetically modified, engineered, but you have gems, and then anyone who has not been genetically enhanced, maybe that's the word, they are imps, the imperfects. So there is a law that gems and imps can't be romantic. So I feel like all that's going to happen is the main character goes into the world as an imp, falls for a gem. That's why she's going to be hung. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. I'm definitely going to keep it around. I don't feel like I'm going to pick it up extremely soon, but I feel like this will potentially hit prompts for things, and it is in my TBR jars, so I could pick it up at any point. But yeah, I'm definitely the same level of interested as I was when I said I was daunted. I'm less daunted because I know what the story is about now, but I'm not desperate to pick it up. So this one's going back on the shelf, and we will attack the next one. Okay, so next up was The Boy Who Loved Anne Frank by Ellen Feldman. I would love to say I finished the first chapter. I didn't. I wish I would have. I don't know, I bought this very, very recently in a charity shop. So while I was in the charity shop, I didn't want to hang about for too long. This was just before Christmas. I just wanted to in, browse, leave. So I didn't want to sit and sit. I didn't want to look through and get a feel of the writing style or anything. I just thought it sounded cool, so I bought it. I wish I would have had a quick skim and read even a few sentences just to get an idea of the sentence structure, all stuff like that, because I'm not gelling with this writing style at all. I was going to hang on to it because it's relatively short in case I did a readathon with historical fiction as a prompt, but I have loads of horrible histories books and I just don't think this is going to work for me, so I'm going to unhaul it. I guess that's the point of me doing these videos, is to be brutal. I didn't like the first chapter, so it's not like I was going to sit here and read it all now. I would just put it back on my shelf knowing that I didn't like the first chapter, and that's not going to inspire me to pick it up anytime soon. So yeah, it's going. Okay, so I've read a little chunk. I'm about 15 pages in and I'm feeling pretty meh about this book. I would read it, and I was going to say that I would probably prefer to buddy read it. Then I checked my list of future buddy reads with Emily, and this is on here, so that's perfect. I think getting through it with Emily is going to mean that I definitely do make it through. I can't see this absolutely knocking my socks off, but I don't know. I'm pretty open at this point. I don't know what I think. If I wasn't buddy reading it, I would probably need to set one up to put myself through it, and I would probably not unhaul it if I didn't. I'd just leave it for a very long time. I don't know. The buddy reader is going to help, definitely. And is there only one more book to do? There is. Oh my god, I'm going to finish this video tonight. It's not going to happen, so I feel like I am giving up on this one too quickly, but I tried to start it and thought, no, it's okay, I'll come back to it in a minute. Then I put my pajamas on, got all cozy, and I'm still on the first couple of pages. I don't want to do it. I've decided that I don't like crime books, at all, really. True crime I'm taking as different to crime, but a crime thriller kind of thing isn't for me, which is a shame, because this would probably, maybe I could enjoy it. But yeah, the first couple of pages are just explaining like different acronyms and policey things, and it's just not for me. So that one's being unhauled too. So overall, a pretty successful tag. Excited to pick 2 up. I'm less daunted to pick 1 up, and I'm unhauling 2. This might be my most successful tag. I keep saying it's a tag. It's not a tag, but try a chapter tag became the way you explain these. So yeah, if I am saying a tag, I'm tagging myself to do this again because I've already pre-filmed the intro for the next one, and I'm daunted to see which of those books I managed to keep or unhaul as well. But yeah, on that note, this video is done. If I haven't been in one yet, those 2 books I have talked about will be in my next unhaul video. And let's see whether I get round to 13 Treasures in Bookoplathon. You will know whether I did by the time this goes up. Don't really have much more to say. If you enjoy this format of video, please do let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear it. It's very chilled for me, it's very easy, and it's a little activity I do by myself anyway, so putting it in a video means that you guys get to see it too. So please do let me know if you enjoy them, and I will continue doing them. But on that note, that's it for today. So thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.